Hey,
Fantastic. Don't really have the chops for it.
Fantastic Four.
That's
much better.
Thank you guys for showing up. Eric says, this is the Avatar channel. It is.
That was a heck of a thing for the movie. Fantastic Four.
Welcome, everyone, to a special Monday Hangover edition of First Shots, where me and Mo Zamboni went and saw Fantastic Four. There is going to be spoilers, so if you don't want to know anything, you can just say goodbye and say, we'll catch you on the next one. No problem whatsoever. We are trying to get this channel monetized. So if you don't want to watch, but you can just leave it on, I appreciate it. There's no super chats here, no nothing, but we do like fan participation. And Fantastic Four, spoilers. My theater was full. And there was a lot of people in cosplay at my theater.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people dressed in the full Fantastic Four garb. So I'm like, that's always a good sign that people are excited, things like that. But a lot of the jokes didn't hit. I didn't hear many people laugh. No. They kind of came in and were like, could have done without that. Pedro Pascal is Pedro Pascal. And just so you know, Mo, since you're the biggest Pedro Pascal fan ever, not only do we get him this year with all his weird quirks, we get him next year because he's going to be in Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
And he's going to be the head guy in Doomsday.
Yay.
So you're going to have like 3 years of Pedro Pascal all up inside you, man. How about that?
My mustache is ready. Let's go. Just give me as much as you can. I want all the Pedro.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. No, we're not monetized over here yet, but hopefully with all these live streams, we'll get there soon enough. Soon enough. Guy who cosplays the Thing is a hero. Yeah. Yeah. Where should we begin? Should we just walk through the movie and then just slow and, and just like start from the very beginning? What we liked, what we didn't like.
What about the overall stuff? Like, I'll start with one thing that I liked, and I think a lot of people like, is the retro futurism.
I love it. I love
amazing.
It was great.
Mm-hmm. The sets were amazing. Like seriously, you felt like you were in an alternate 1960s. Like, it really worked. So kudos to the production crew and the people who made that. It really felt like that it existed. It felt amazing. It felt like something you would watch, like those old movies, like in the 30 years in 1996, we will have flying cars. And with the mid-Atlantic accent.
The future kitchen of today. In the future. Yes, women won't be able to work so hard.
She'll still be there, I guarantee, but she won't have to work nearly as hard. Yes.
Yeah. I did like that. They did a great job with the cars. Like they were in New York, of course. They're always in New York. And the Fantastic Four, it was interesting. It felt like they were like stars of a talk show, because they were always talking to the media and telling them everything that happened. And they had like an announcer. And so the beginning of the film kind of has a quick recap of what happened. So the Fantastic Four are already established heroes. Everybody loves them. And they keep getting invited on this talk show. I don't know what it was, but the guy went through, they went into outer space. They got magical powers. And they became the world's heroes. And they were showing like little things that they were doing. Number one, they defeated a guy named Mole Man, which then later on, Sue Storm brokers a peace treaty with Mole Man and the Under People that live under the earth.
So just to rewind it back to the origin story, I felt like, hey, whatever you think about the rest of the movie, and we'll get into that, I think the way they did the origin story through the 1960s film stock was just enough to kind of get you up to date in a fun way that wasn't laborious. I thought they did a good job with that. And you gotta,
I guess I'm a little over origin stuff because we all kind of know. That's like every time they do a new Batman film, we got to get the same origin story, and we're like, we already know. Just fast forward. Like, we get it. You can make it cool, but we already know. We've seen it over and over. Fast forward just a little bit for me. But no, I agree with you. I agree.
It was like 3 or 4 minutes, and it was fun, and you got to see Grimm before. By the way, the guy that plays Human Grimm, the voice, he looks like somebody that would be a 1960s astronaut. I was just like, wow, he looks like he'd be hanging out with Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong. Like, I thought he was cast pretty well, and as far as the few minutes that you get to see him. But yeah, no, I thought that kind of origin story I'm okay with because you got the music. It doesn't stop the story. You just get a little bit. It's in the frame of the TV show at the beginning. Makes sense. It's not, doesn't beat you over the head. We're not spinning a long time there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Another positive, and then I'll run through the movie. Galactus was freaking awesome, in my opinion. It was awesome to see Galactus. Like real Galactus. So planet eating Galactics, I thought he was cool. And they made it to where when he was walking through the streets of New York, you could feel it rumble in the theater. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So the way his eyes lit up and everything.
I was just about to say, I was glad they went back to that like 10 times.
Yeah.
Every time his eyes would go boom.
I thought that was really awesome.
That was awesome.
The soundtrack for me was awesome. I like the soundtrack of this film. So I enjoyed the whole thing. Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah, but they don't do it too much. I would kind of wish they did it more.
They did it in the beginning, like when they were doing the run through, and they did, but I did like the soundtrack. What year is it? It's like 60s, but it's on a different Earth.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Earth 828.
Yeah, 828.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys like it more than Superman? I did. I liked it more than Superman. A lot more, actually.
Pacing wasn't great, but it was better than Superman.
Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, in my opinion, it is the best Marvel film we got this year. Of course, I don't know or superhero film we got this year. I don't know what that's up against. What, Captain America? Superman?
Right. Yeah, Superman. Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Thunderbolts. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet, but couldn't form an opinion.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. It's just none of these films stand up to the standard of phase 1, 2, and 3. Or I always call it the Thanos run. So they don't stand up to that standard yet. What was bad about this film? Pedro Pascal. I didn't like him as Mr. Fantastic. Any thoughts? Your screen just blew up. Like,
oh, sorry. It was Galactus. He was looking at me.
Okay.
I draw in his ire. Well, there's plenty that was wrong with the movie that drove me nuts. It was just, but the biggest one. We just get it out of the way. Female server. Didn't work. Did not work. No gravitas. They tried. You could tell they tried. She doesn't look as bad as she does in the trailers, which isn't saying much. It's not like she, obviously they had not quite finished the effects. She looked a little more weathered, like it was actually silver or something like that. But the facial features looked weird. And she just was supposed to be this imposing figure, and she never was. She was a chick on a surfboard that just kind of dropped in every so often. Her voice wasn't scary. Her presence wasn't scary. Her powers were kind of scary, but they kept losing her and getting rid of her and fighting her off. It's it's what they said about Kang. It's like he's supposed to be this imposing person, but when she and I got to bring this up because because I saw it in the trailer. when she goes, I herald the beginning, I herald your end. This nigga.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going. You don't have to read when I highlight. I just like I think
No,
it's funny.
it's funny though. So bad. It's like I herald galactic. Now, if you had a voice that could carry that, and I would think I would know, I would be better. But she's like, I herald the beginning, I herald the end. You know, you need I herald the beginning. It would have, because it didn't even resonate literally sound wise in the theater. It was like shrill, like it just didn't work. She didn't need to be in there. The whole storyline around her was point. You could have removed 3 lines and it could have been male Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I believe better. I agree with Dr. Manzor here. This is what I was telling Mo before we started. I said it 100%, in my opinion, they had a female Silver Surfer just to have a hint or some kind of relationship with Johnny, because Johnny was like, oh, she's hot. They were like, hey, Johnny, that's your girlfriend. Stuff like they did stuff like that. And that was Johnny's big part in the film, was his relationship with Silver Surfer. That's why he was there. So yeah, that's what. How did you like Pedro Pascal? I didn't think he was masculine enough for Reed Richards. That's all. Is this his first big starring role? Like he was the lead? Because he's usually just like not the lead, you know. He's usually in the movie, but he's usually not the lead. Like Gladiator, he wasn't the lead. Wonder Woman, he wasn't the lead.
Even in Equalizer, where people, what was it, 2 or I think it was 2. Equalizer 2, he was like the villain, and he did a pretty good job. But he's an also ran. Like he's never took the helm. And spoilers, since we're talking about it, he wasn't. I don't think he was cut in the movie. I don't think they did a good. I think he is, by the way that he's like kind of a winky tink. He's kind of he's got a high voice, and he doesn't, like, even though he's got muscles, he doesn't exude strength. Like he gave up the same vibes as a Silver Surfer. He's like, like whatever.
Well, he starts off in the movie already taking blame for the Fantastic Four. When they're talking, he goes, it was all my fault. And he takes blame for it throughout the film. Every time he looks at Ben Grimm. And even the thing is like, will you get over yourself? Like, we're past that now. Like, you don't have to keep blaming yourself for everything, you know? So yeah. All right, we're gonna roll. The movie begins with them on a talk show giving a little bit of an origin story. Boom. And then we get to the scene that everyone saw in the teaser trailer. They got the Thing making pasta with Johnny. And Sue Storm is in the bathroom, going to the bathroom, when Reed Richards burst in the bathroom looking for a bottle of iodine for some strange reason. He can't find the iodine. And Sue's like, can you give me like 10 minutes? I'll get the iodine for you. And he's not paying attention. Well, she finishes up and walks over with the iodine and a pregnancy test that says, hey, we're pregnant. And they have like a little moment where he's just like, I thought we couldn't get pregnant. We've been trying for years. You know, and she's like, well, I guess we are. We're going to have a baby. So
I was halfway expecting her to say, maybe you should try having sex with women. That usually helps. But yeah, that is, remember the pregnancy test was humongous and electronic. And I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so they're late for Sunday sauce dinner. They show up and the Thing is like, why y'all late for dinner? And he looks at Sue and he goes, you're pregnant, aren't you? I could tell. And they're like, yay, we're pregnant. And everybody.
That scene was kind of cringe. I know what they're going for. They're like, you're late. She's like, what? Yeah. Late. You're late. Like, how would your brother know that you're late? That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
You think about it. And they're like, that part of the movie doesn't rest. They're just like, you're late. And Ben's looking at him like, you're pregnant. The whole thing takes like 2 minutes to cover. There's no suspense. And you think there might be. And the whole thing just kind of goes bleh.
Well, then they got these little Apple Watches, you know, anytime there's danger, you know, something goes off. Right? Isn't that when it went off already? Did it go off at dinner? Or did I forget already?
It went off in the second dinner. It was
the second dinner.
The first dinner we were kind of like kind of getting the characters and how they acted, we're getting them set up, which once again wasn't the worst. It was a good way to do it. They kind of rushed through some of it, but yeah, like how close knit they are as a family, you know.
Then I forgot what happened in the middle. It's like you have moments with like the Thing is walking home, I guess, and he meets a girl, sort of. Right? Johnny's like working on something. I don't know what's going on with that thing. But yeah, then all of a sudden, like Reed Richards is like calculating everything. Oh, that's what they do. They start calculating baby stuff, change the plugs, build the, like they start doing all that stuff. So they do a montage of the little robot Herbie, right? That's the name of the robot.
Herbie. Yep.
Yeah. Herbie and Reed Richards are baby proofing the house that they live in. So, and the Thing keeps breaking everything. They keep walking over like the baby gates and everything. So, yeah, then they have the second dinner, right? Then their alarms go off and they look out into outer space and they see the Silver Surfer, the female Silver Surfer.
Yeah, you get like a ghetto Independence Day kind of entrance where you get like a few meteors. You look at the meteors, you're like, oh my, and nothing, that they don't hit anything. You see it in the trailer, it doesn't apparently, but yeah, you see the Silver Surfer coming in, and yeah.
No, it wasn't funny. That's what I was saying. Some of the jokes didn't land. Like they built the baby gate and the Thing like trips over it apparently, and like you just kind of like that.
Yeah, and my theater never left. Really, there might have been one
little chuckle,
but like the tripping over the gate, there was one part towards the end where it was that like the movie let it rest and there was silence in the theater, and I had people in my theater that would narrate the movie, which really annoys the crap out of me. And of course the guy was like 3 seats over here going, he's gonna revive him, like I'm like,
oh, I hate those people. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, you're just like, come on. But it was the I hate to say it, the IQ level of the theater, and if they're not laughing,
the jokes didn't really land.
No.
So Johnny Storm turns into the Flame and goes after the Silver Surfer, and I guess she looks at him in her language, right, and says something. And then they all get together and they land in the middle of Times Square. And the female Silver Surfer speaks in English and basically is like, the end of your world is coming. Hug your loved ones. It's over. All hail Galactus, right? And then she takes off, and then Johnny goes after her again. This is the only parts like I don't like. Johnny goes after her again, grabs the surfboard, and then they float into outer space where he would die. Number one, he would die. He can't breathe. And his powers get turned off, like kind of weird. And then she speaks in like her special language to him. So, and he falls to the earth and he revives, but it's all good. That's basically it. So now it's like, oh my God, man, we gotta fight this Galactus guy. What are we gonna do? So they power up the ship, and if I'm going too fast, let me know. But this is all what I can remember. They power up the Fantastic Four ship, and they tell the people of Earth, all right, people of Earth, we're going to protect you. We're the spokespersons here. We're going to get in our rocket ship, go up there and defeat Galactus. Gosh, I'm dyslexic, sorry. And like, we'll come back down. So then they're like, okay, yay, Fantastic Four. They all get in the ship. Of course, Sue Storm at this point is 9 months pregnant.
Yeah, massively pregnant.
And
we get to see the baby, by the way. We see the baby because she opens.
Yeah. Reed Richards wants to see the child, so she invisibles her tummy so he could look through it and see the baby. So after he did like tons of tests to make sure it wasn't like a weird monster that they were going to give birth to it. So, yeah. And so that was the only weird thing is like, she's 9 months. It's like, do you think it's a good idea to take her into outer space and fight a galactic monster?
Yeah. To say nothing of the fact of that becomes a plot point. It's like,
yeah,
Like you should have literally stayed home, and you might have been okay.
So they get into outer space and off they go. They find the closest planet that Galactus is next to, and they watch him eat the planet because that's what he does. He's a planet eater. He needs it. It's constantly hungry. It's a curse. He's immortal, whatever. So they are like, all right, we got to figure out like what's going on here. So in Galactic ship puts them in like a tractor pull.
Right.
Pulls the ship in, and female Silver Surfer's like, he will speak to you. Just so you know, your presence, you can meet him. So they get in their space shoots and they walk over inside the ship. And that was a cool scene for me, like, because Galactus is he looks freaking awesome. He's like in his chair.
Yeah.
He's all connected to the ship and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And a lot of special effects nowadays don't get the size, like the feeling of size when you look at it. He looked huge. Like he looked like Galactus. And by the way, whoever did the voice acting, I'd have to look it up. He would like the delivery of the lines of Galactus were amazing. Like Galactus was on point the entire time. He was awesome.
Yeah. So he looks down and he's like, hey, where'd you come? Did you come here to beg for mercy? And they're like, we just came here to talk. And then all of a sudden his eyes like focus on the baby. And he's like, oh my gosh, I gotta have that baby. That baby is gonna take my place and I'll be free. That baby's got some kind of power in it that I don't know, but I need that baby. That baby, me and that baby are going to switch places so I could be free from this pain that he's in, from this planet eater job where I'm always hungry and everything. And it's like, that's what he's saying. He's like, I need that baby. So he goes, listen, if you give me your baby, I won't kill Earth. How about that? You know, but if you don't give me the baby, I'm going to kill Earth. So they're like, there's no way we're giving you this baby. Oh, Galactus got so mad, and Silver Surfer. Then he starts reaching for him and grabbing him and everything.
Oh
yeah. And, they take off, so they make it into their ship, and the female Silver Surfer is in hot pursuit. Dun, 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 the ships are flying,
which was good. It was good. It was a good chase scene. Like I thought it was okay.
But then all of a sudden, Sue Storm goes into labor.
That was
right in the middle of the chase scene. She's like, the baby's coming.
Yeah, with her pants on, by the way.
That's right. Well, you see
really
her pants
weird.
fly off like right before she gives birth.
No, okay, seriously, that was 100% a pickup scene because they're like, oh yeah, you can't give birth with your pants on because it's so out of place. It's like from a different angle that you just see her kick it off. All these like college grads were like, oh yeah, I guess you can't give birth with pants on. Like they just kind of put it in there. She just flicks her pants off, like she's getting ready to get in the shower or something like that, just randomly, you know. But yeah, the whole thing was it was a good sequence of events. I thought it was okay. Yeah, let's go 75.
Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So they can't shake female Silver Surfer, and she's kind of made it in the ship a few times because she could go through any wall material, whatever. And she tried to pull the baby out of Sue Storm to bring it back to Galactus. So they're moving. Meantime, you got Reed Richards like, I'm here, Sue. Like, I'll help you give birth. And you got the Thing and Johnny flying the ship, and they're trying to get away. They're like, she's catching up. We can't get any faster. So they have this plan to go to a black hole and get as close as a black hole as possible. And then they would spin around the black hole and it would launch them back to Earth while sucking in female Silver Surfer. I get that right? That's pretty much what they were going to do.
Yeah, basically it was Star Trek 4, Intergalactic, and a whole bunch of other movies all mixed into one scene. Yes.
Yeah. So they get close to the black hole, and while Sue Storm she's like, the baby's almost out. He's like, hey, Sue, can you do us a favor while you're giving birth? Can you make the ship invisible?
If it's not too much of a problem, is the way, like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, on top of everything else that you're going through, can you make the ship invisible? So she's like, she's grabbing the ship while in labor. She's like, and she makes the ship invisible. Now, the front part of the ship was like a little clip on. So the ship would get on this clip on, like turbo boost. And the ship was invisible, but you still saw the turbo booster. So the female Silver Surfer's chasing that. And then she realizes, oh my gosh, the ship is invisible and made a spin around. I've been duped. And she kind of gets sucked into the black hole. So they're able to like spin around and use what's ever left to get back to Earth. Well, they make it while the ship is about to fall apart. They all go over and you see a pair of pants fly out of nowhere. And Sue Storm pushes out a baby and the thing catches him. It's like, got the baby.
And they have forceps on the freaking, I don't know if you noticed that. He's holding forceps. Okay. Is that normal? Do we bring that on the ship most of the time? But let's not forget this plot point. Galactus
go for it.
Galactus induced the birth. He's the one that started it, if you remember.
Oh, that's right. Correct. Because he wanted the baby. That's correct.
So she starts going into labor, even though she's pretty much full term. And by the size of the baby in her stomach, she's about 18 months pregnant, because that's a huge baby to have in your tummy.
Yeah.
Somebody that's seen a 9-month-old baby, they ain't that big. But it was to sell the scene. I got it. But yeah, Galactus induced birth, tries to get away. Silver Surfer can go in and out of time, which I guess is one of the powers, and almost grabs the baby. But yeah, at that point, they're free of her. She's in the black hole. They give birth, and it's a pretty good scene as far as her giving birth, and the babies comes out, as most babies do in movies, is 3 months old. Not different colors or distorted like they usually are. It's like, oh, hi, perfect looking baby. This is not the case, but it was good. That was an okay scene, and the tension in the scene, even though you kind of know what was going to happen, the ship was going to disappear, they're going to fill it. It was good enough to kind of get you out of it. It was escapism. It got you out of thinking about the movie for a second and enjoying it. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't think it was bad. Didn't think it was perfect, but I thought it was pretty good.
Mo nitpicking, LOL. So then they head back to Earth, and it's been like over a month. And they get back to Earth, and there's a huge crowd, and they're all just like, yeah, let's go. And the look on their faces were like, we're here. And they're like, oh my God, she gave birth to the baby. Yay, let's go. So immediately they go right onto a talk show, or the media or whatever. And Reed Richards just being a little too honest with the media. They go, all right, question. I'll take a question. You, sir. And he goes, so what was it like defeating Galactus? He goes, well, we didn't defeat Galactus. And they're like, follow-up question. What do you mean? He's like, well, he's on his way here and we'll figure it out. But he made an offer that we said no to. And they're all like, now everyone's freaking out. They're like, why'd you say no? And Reed Richards just tells the world, he goes, he wanted me to give up my son and he would save the planet. So then all the people got mad at him. They're all like, you should have sacrificed your son. Like immediately.
Yeah, like it wasn't fever pitch like it was later in the movie, but you could tell it was rumble, 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 rumble. Like you hear the rumble. They started piping up later, but yeah, no, it was the most orderly press conference ever. It was like, hold on, this guy's talking, everybody be quiet. And it's yeah.
So then he's like, we'll figure out a way. I'm not giving up my son. We'll figure out a way. And so then they go up to their room and they start working on like how we're gonna figure this out. And a mob shows up at their home base. They're like, you're selfish, sacrifice your son to save us, and Reed Richards, like he's got every chalkboard, and he's trying to figure it out. And he looks over at his wife and she's like, you want me to give up our child, don't you? How dare you? You thought about it. He goes, I thought about the possibility, but I'm not going to do that. And she gets all mad. And
yeah, he says it's ethical,
Yeah.
and mathematical or something like that. And I'm like thinking ethical is
Yeah, it's like it's mathematical to give up my son to save the earth. And she's like, "How dare you?" And she runs off. I'm not giving up my son. So he comes in, he goes, "I promise I'm not giving up our son. I'm just that's how I think, woman. That's how I do stuff. I got to figure stuff out. I got to make tough decisions. I got to do all that stuff." Right? And then she looks outside. She's like, "They want me to give him my baby." So then Sue Storm walks out to the mob, which I thought this scene was kind of dumb, but whatever.
it was hokey. Yeah.
She walks out to the mob with the baby and she stands in the middle and she's like, she basically gives a speech. "You guys are all our family. You're my family, and we're not going to let our family down." Long story short, it was a moment where people were mad at her, and then she's like, "This is my son. I want you to meet my son, and I'm not sacrificing my son, but you guys are all my family, and we don't want to sacrifice you either. So let's do this together." Then everyone starts like, "Yeah, Fantastic Four."
That whole scene was so unbelievable. A, they're quiet. B, somebody would have grabbed Franklin, the name of the baby, and ran with him like Barry Sanders running for a touchdown. You're going to tell me not one person in that crowd would try, or at least make an attempt to take that baby. Like the whole like everybody's chill and cool. That's where they're kind of touching a little bit on the
Yeah.
communism crap. You're like, oh, we're just get along, everybody's cool, and there is some plot points in here. You're like, like, okay, I guess I'll buy it a little bit since we're in this universe, but it was getting a bit much. Anyways, I don't want
So
to. We'll get to that part later, but yeah,
it's all good. Remember, if I skip something, stop me. So they go back inside, and Reed Richards like, "You just gave me the best idea, Sue. I know what to do now." Now, throughout the film, Reed Richards has been working on some teleportation device, where you see him take an egg and move it from, I guess he matter, and he puts it. He's able to move it somewhere else.
Mhm.
So I don't know what kind of device that was, but it was able to. He's able to like shoot a laser beam at something, and it will teleport to another place. You know, so he's been working on that like throughout the film. Every now and then you see him like shoot an egg, and the egg ends up over here.
every like 10 times in the gosh darn story, just in case you didn't notice it the first time or the second or the fifth time they transported the egg, just to kind of
Yeah.
let you know they could do that. Yeah, which since we're talking about nitpicking, since I've seen The Fly, all I want to be is like open the egg. I want to see what's inside the egg. That's kind of part of the problem. It might look all right until it gets over on the other side. It might be scrambled, but they're just like, oh, they don't check the egg out. They don't see if there's anything wrong with the egg. They're like, it's fine. And I'm like, okay, which will matter here in a little bit once we get to the next part.
So Reed Richards develops a plan that he's gonna build teleportation device all over the world, and they're gonna teleport planet Earth to another system where they can survive and where Galactus won't be able to find them for 1,000,000 years. That's the plan. So they're going to put the Earth, like all these little devices all over the Earth, and push a button, and Earth will teleport to another place, to another sun. And that's that. That's what that was his big plan. And so he's like, "We need the whole world to help." He gets on the mic. He goes, "I need the whole world to help. We need resources. We need money. We need you to build this for us." And off they go. So the whole world is like, "We're helping the Fantastic Four." So they're building all these devices all over. And then Reed Richards is like, "We don't have enough power to do this. So everyone's got to turn off all their lights."
That
So the whole world has to turn off all their lights for like a week to build up enough power to make this work. So that's what they do.
yes, which is how we get Thing with a beard. By the way, because he can't use his razor, and the he's like, yeah, no, it looks good. He's like, serious?
Yeah, so the Thing grows a beard because he doesn't have a sandblaster to shave because they can't use electricity. Yeah, that's how he gets the beard. So that's the big plan. and they're all set to go. Now, in the meantime, Johnny Storm has been working hard in his office to figure out how to speak the language of the female Silver Surfer. You know,
From a
that's the
sentence.
crazy thing.
From a sentence. From one sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been working on that, and he's like, I think I could speak to her. You know, I could figure this whole thing out. I could learn her language from a sentence. You know, buddy, do not come in here and like start throwing stuff out till we get there. What are you doing? Thank you. All right. So wait till we get there. Then you can say whatever you want. Now everyone's like, does she really die? We're gonna get to that. So he gets ready. The power's out around the world. It's all set. He hits the button and the whole world is getting ready to be transported. Then all of a sudden something happens. Boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it's this female Silver Surfer. She's destroying all the teleportation devices around the earth. And now they don't know what to do. So they're just sitting there like, oh God, like now what do we do? She's ruined it all.
Yep.
But
Except
Johnny
for
has a plan. He's like, I'm gonna go after her because I can speak her language. So through a couple of lines.
one sentence. He figured it out. We don't need the Rosetta Stone. We just need like a Rosetta Pebble, like this big. One sentence. I can figure out an alien language. But yeah, no, I like how she destroyed all of the, whatever they call them, the transportation devices, except for the one that's right next
Except
to
for the one that's right next to the office.
Right next to the home office one. She's like, yeah, we're good. But yeah, no, then he starts talking to her in her language.
And then he figures out her whole life story. He's like, you were on a distant planet and Galactus, and it's like, it's your fault that we're here and all that stuff. And he's like, you heard the screams of the other planets of the people dying and all that stuff, and on and on and on. And she kind of like starts crying. And she flies away. She's very sad. Johnny made her very sad. It's like, how dare you do this? You know, I know you're just doing it to keep your planet safe. Basically, it's Silver Surfer, but it's a female. Same story. And he's like, how could you do this? And she flies away.
Yeah, after saying it's not your sacrifice to make, maybe you should have given up the baby. And then just like after all that, after her just going, no, she's like, hey man, not my problem. You should have let me have him.
So then Reed Richards is like, I don't know what to do. But I think I have an idea. If we can get Galactus onto the Earth, we could teleport him far, far away where he won't be able to see us. And he looks over at his son, and mom's like, you want to use our baby as bait? And he's like, I'll think of another way. And she's like, no, you don't. You want to use our baby as bait. How dare you? And so there's a big argument.
Yeah, it wasn't really a how dare you, because we had already covered that where he's like the mathematical, ethical. This was like he's like looked at her like, we got to do this, and she's like, I know, I don't want to. And then Ben and Johnny Storm, they're like, yeah, they're like, this is a bad idea. I don't like this idea at all. But the plan that comes up is just like, really, really, son, like on an intergalactic being that we've said that is older than the universe.
I know it sounds funny, but I did like this movie better than Superman, even though it's coming off. I can tell that it's coming off as super cringe, but it's still. So they make a device for their baby, and they were going to set the baby in the middle of this teleportation device in the middle of Times Square. So if Galactus walks over to pick up the baby, he'll get sucked in and shot out in another galaxy far, far away. So that's the plan.
Yeah. So real quick, just in case you're not following at home, and for those who are following at home, basically they were trying to duck the landlord in the first plan. They don't want to pay rent, so they're like, all right, we're just gonna move and not pay the rent. Now they're trying to get rid of the landlord. They're trying to get rid of Galactus so that he won't come pay asking for rent. It's pretty much what it is. They're just trying to avoid him at all costs. They're not getting rid of him. They're trying to avoid him because he's such a celestial being and stuff like that. Kind of, sort of.
So Galactus sees the baby. He's on Earth, and he gets out of his chair. He starts walking through New York, and he's like, I must have the baby. And Fantastic Four start fighting.
Okay, so there's one scene I was like, and even the characters in the movie are like, when Galactus pulls a tree out of the ground and goes,
oh yeah, the Galactus, he gets to Earth. That's the first thing he does is like grab the Earth, and he has a bunch of trees, and he's like, he smells some trees.
And they cut the Johnny Storm, and he's just like, okay. And everybody in the theater's like, okay, what was that supposed to mean? He doesn't eat it. I thought he's gonna eat it.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So he just starts walking and tromping through New York, sees the baby. He's like, I got to go get the baby. And he starts fighting the Fantastic Four, He does grab Reed Richards, and like, I thought he was going to snap him like a rubber band and like let him go. Like, cause he grabs him and he just starts stretching him as far as he can stretch. And, they just fight, the thing. They all do what they do is best, right? They fight. And the plan was to distract Galactus, and swap out the baby with a fake and hide the baby in their home.
Hold on. Not even with a fake, with an empty container.
With an empty basket.
They didn't even buy, like, the guy could build anything, didn't bother to make a mold or something. Like get it like a Cabbage Patch Kid or whatever they have, Nothing. There's nothing in there.
So that's what happened. Like Johnny, he's shooting with the flame, and Sue is like distracting him and all that stuff. And so they're able to like do a quick swap with the baby on the ground and put it back into their home. And the little Herbie robot is watching it, but it's Galactus. He looks down and goes, yeah, the baby's not there. So he doesn't step into the trap. He like scans all of Earth, and he's like, all right, the baby's over there. So he just starts walking
in the building with a giant four.
We messed up.
Yeah, that was cool when he went, clever little bugs.
Yeah,
like get more. If it was just Galactus, I would have loved the movie. He was great. He was great throughout the entire thing. But yeah,
he was great. Galactus was the highlight for me. He sees the baby in the home and just sticks his hand through the wall and grabs the baby. So he's looking at the child, and he's like, oh man, I needed you in my life, and now I could be free. Like, you're the chosen one that's going to take over for me and have this burden.
Yeah. So Galactus the Carpathian.
Yeah.
It was basically Ghostbusters 2. His story arc was Vigo. He's like wanted to get he wanted to get rid of his hunger, which was a good villain motivation. It made sense. He's like, I'm tired of being hungry. I just want to stop. So he's trying to transfer it to the baby. But yeah, so he reaches in there, somehow doesn't destroy Herbie. Herbie's like Herbie cannot be destroyed.
Yeah,
at all.
And he goes with them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. They're definitely gonna sell Herbie toys and put like little cassette tapes in his face, for different personalities.
Okay, so just a off ramp here real quick before we get to the end of the movie. The gadget prawn in this film was great. Like all kinds of old, new technology, like computers if they existed in the 60s. But I loved how they took the home tape out of Herbie and put the space one in. I was like, it's so like the Jetsons, man. Like, they did I'm telling you, whoever was in charge of the set design and that kind of vibe, it worked throughout the entire movie.
That was pretty awesome.
Job. Yeah, but Herbie, they did a great job with. He wasn't annoying, as you might surmise from the trailer. He wasn't in there too much, and he was likable. I thought he was great, but not overbearing, and he served his purpose in the story. But he was pretty cool, and the gadget prawn and throughout the entire film was amazing. But that's my off ramp. We'll just get back onto the on ramp with Galactus grabbing the child.
Yeah. So now the Fantastic Four is like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? They just get their butt handed to them, and Sue Storm has had enough. She's like, even if I die, I'm gonna push this man to the portal. And she just turns on her power, and even Reed Richards like, it's too much. Like you're gonna die. You're gonna hurt yourself. She's like, I don't care. Save our son. So she is able now. I don't believe if you want to be comic book accurate, which these movies never really are. Let's be honest. She's not that powerful. She's powerful, but I don't think she's that powerful. But she was able to push him backwards and get him in the eyes of the portal. Johnny then turns the portal on. They have 35 seconds to make sure he stays in the portal. And while he's being sucked in the so I'm like,
we missed the opportunity there. We could have been 38, but we were 37.
That's true. While he's being sucked in the portal, Reed Richards was thrown up, and he was able to save his son. Galactus gets sucked into the portal, but he's too powerful. He starts crawling out,
which that got me. I was like, oh, like when Ben's like, looks like we got him, and then he arm reaches out of the portal, and I was like, all right, that was actually kind of caught me by surprise.
And so then Johnny's like, tell everyone I love him. He like radios into the whole team. He's like, tell my nephew I love him. And he's like, I'm going to make the self-sacrifice, to get him in. By this time, Sue Storm, she's like knocked out cold because she's exerted all her power. So she's just laying on the ground, looks dead. So Johnny's going to hit Galactus and knock him into the portal. So he's like, he powers up and just takes off like a rocket. And right before he hits Galactus, Silver Surfer knocks him out of the way and knocks Galactus and herself into the portal. And it closes. But they all think Sue Storm has died. And in fact, she's dead. So they're like, oh my God. They start to perform CPR on Sue Storm, and she's dead. She ain't coming back. Until they decide to put her son on her, and he starts touching her and brings his mom back to life. Fantastic Four. There's the music. So she's back to life now because of her son. And they're like, we don't know what he is, but he's our son. So then at the very end, they go on to do their news conference. And they're like, yeah, we've got some rebuilding to do and all that stuff, but we saved the day. And here's our son. He's not ready to be part of the team yet, but it's all right. And then comes end credit scene number 1.
Mm-hmm.
End credit scene number 1. It's 4 months later. 4 months.
4 years.
Is it 4 years? Oh, yeah. Okay. 4 years. You're right. Yeah. You're right. 4 years later. Sorry about that. Not 4 months. 4 years later. The son is a little bit older. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still in their high-end apartment in New York. And Sue Storm's with her son, and they're talking. She goes, where's your father's favorite book? She gets up, and there's a rustling sound. And you turn around, and Dr. Doom has taken off his mask and is talking to the little man. And that's the end.
And you can't see him. You can see
you can see that his mask is in his hand, and he's wearing the green cape and all that stuff. Yeah, and that's that. So
Franklin's touching his face, which I'm like,
this
kid's got no stranger danger at all. The 4-year-old is like, ugh, like he's just like, hey, what's up?
Now, if you go see this movie in the theater, there is absolutely no reason to stay for end credit scene number 2. End credit scene number 2 is a clip from their cartoon show. That's literally all it is. And I was like, God dang it, man. I had to go to the bathroom and I held it for that. Like that would have ended up on Twitter in no time. So that's the end of the film. Now, regardless of how I presented the movie, I liked it better than Superman. I did like it better than Jurassic Park. I gave it a 60 on Critic List. for what it's worth. 6 out of 10. 60.
That's what I gave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Galactus was really freaking cool. I thought the music was cool. I thought the aesthetics of the movie were cool.
Amazing,
But yeah, some of the other stuff was pretty dumb. It wouldn't even get a 70 for me. So
yeah, and since we're done talking about like all the beats and the pieces of the movie, the overarching problem with me with the movie is you have action, 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 crap ton of exposition, slow, slow, slow.
it's
We're
slow.
trying
It's
to,
not. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, really, really slow. Action, action, action. Like like the pacing, they had something you could tell. This reeks of too many cooks in the kitchen. There were some good ideas, but a lot of it got taken over by MCU stuff. And you
Yeah.
can tell that it's not as bad as other movies, but you can tell it's kind of the rot worked its way into this movie.
So is it really the best MC movie in years? The best MCU movie. I think it's the best superhero movie this year.
For sure.
It's definitely. I mean, it's not better than Wolverine and Deadpool or Spider-Man. You know, not even close to that level. I could not. But here's the thing: I could probably watch Jurassic World again. I can't watch this movie again because when there's slow scenes, it's slow. Like it's slow. This was definitely a one and done. You know how like you can go back and watch like Winter Soldier, some of those other movie, and I'm going back to like phase 1 through 3. You can watch those movies again and again, and it's just like it's awesome. They have a lot of rewatchability. For me, this movie, like Superman, doesn't really have rewatchability. So that's another issue. We don't count Deadpool as MCU. Okay, well, I mean, it's part of the MCU. It's gonna be in like I think Deadpool's gonna be in Secret Wars.
Gambit's going to, which
Yeah.
I'm excited about. I love Gambit. He's my favorite.
This is a good question. Was there any indication of how they will be brought into the modern timeline?
An offhand comment when he's on his Mr. Fantastic show, where he's like, apparently there's other parallel universes. When he's on the kids show, he's talking about it. The kids yawn, and then he says, "Who wants to see an explosion?" That was one of the laughs in the theater. But they just kind of underhandedly say, "Yeah, this parallel universe versus the end." Like they don't explicitly say it; they imply it.
Now, I could say this: what this movie could do, if they had closed the book on Endgame and were like, we're going to do a whole new phase in this timeline with the Fantastic Four, this would have been a perfect starter film for that. I think Galactus being done, but then like they have to fight other villains here and there, like and stretch this thing out a little bit. I think it would have worked.
There was a lot of meat in this, but there was a lot of gristle. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what? We're over 100, by the way. I just saw that.
That's I know. Amazing. Thank you guys. Someone rated us. Who rated us? Wicked Virtue. Thank you so much. If you're new here, this is the pop culture channel, the Monday Hangover. So we talk about movies. We're spoiling Fantastic Four right now. So if you don't want any spoilers, best you leave. But if you leave, why don't you send us running on a subscribe, right? Like hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get monetized here, so
that's right.
Thank you guys so much. And Wicked Virtue, thank you so much for the raid. Lincoln Kenobi's in the chat. I don't see like your comment did not. Oh, here it is. I just did a review on Fantastic Four and I enjoyed it despite the gender swap Silver Surfer. I'm going to watch it again in IMAX. I saw it the first time in the regular showing. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Listen, the thing is, it's like I had a fun time.
Yeah.
But when you compare it to some of the, MCU movies, it's like it has its problems. So it has its problems.
Yeah, it's like it plays like low rent, kind of like.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah. It's and especially Johnny Storm's special effects. I did not like him. He did not look good when he was the Torch. It looked like they colored him orange and then put some stock footage of flames around him. Like he didn't look as cool as Chris Evans did in
Chris
the
Evans,
yeah,
yeah.
because that effect was great. The trailer where the Silver Surfer takes him into space, all the special effects in that trailer were amazing. Like I said, Silver Surfer did not look as bad as she looks like in the trailer. It doesn't look great, but she's definitely believable and presentable. She doesn't take you out of the film. But Johnny Storm, when he's sitting there, when he's moving, it's fine. When he's staying still, it's bad. He looks like he's made of Cheetos. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he doesn't look like he's on fire. He just looks like he's he's the flaming hot version of Johnny Storm. But yeah, it was just they could have got it. They could have nailed it. If they didn't have Pedro Pascal, they had Norn Rad. They had the base of the story was really good.
It was there. Like it was there. It was a couple of notches away from holy crap. They knocked this one out of the park. And Lulu is right. Crazy how the special effects from 10 to 20 years ago are better than today. That is
30 at this point, because you have Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park, which are completely believable for what they are. And Jurassic Park is probably the best CGI of all time, even still.
How does it compare to the other Fantastic Four films? I have to watch the Universal 1 and 2 again. I really enjoyed them when they came out. So I like Chris Evans as, Johnny Blaze. And like, I like that. I thought, or Fox, sorry. What did I say?
Universal.
Yeah. Sorry about that. The Fox films. And I like seeing him replay that character again in Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought that was freaking great.
Except for that when she did, I was like,
yeah. I thought that was freaking great.
Yeah.
I liked it. I like them a lot. If I watched them again, I probably would. Listen, the thing is, for me, as an old person, I love the 2000 era of comic book movies. I really did. I loved the X-Men movies.
Oh, yeah.
I loved the Fantastic Four films. I really did. I really liked them a lot, and I watched them a lot. So I really did. So I have a special place in my heart. The Blade films, all of them, I have a special place in my heart for it. And what Deadpool and Wolverine did by bringing back those characters with respect was, I loved it. So I'm probably going to view those a little bit higher than today's, just because I just really had a love affair with them. I loved what they did. I like the stories. Was some of the effects cheesy? Yeah, but it was still good.
Michael Chiklis as the Thing. You're gonna have, even though the Thing in this movie looked great, and I thought the actor did. I thought they did a good job with Thing, but Michael Chiklis is like ultra talented and did a much better job. I thought he was good in this movie.
I didn't. Yeah, the Thing had some pretty fun moments where he was walking home and there was a bunch of students from school and they were just cheering and they're like, "Pick up a car, pick up a car." And he played along and like he thought, that was neat. He wasn't as like in the older Fantastic films, the Thing was very angry at Reed Richards and he wanted to be fixed because his marriage, messed up and all that, and he was very depressed. Here he wasn't as depressed in this series as he has been in the past in the other movies. He kind of was like he was kind of like in the form of acceptance. So he was just
totally
living with it. He's like, this is who I am. Eventually we'll get it fixed. But right now I'm a hero and I'll just be the hero. And, that's where we were.
Right. And to go back to the Fox Fantastic Four in this movie, there is very, very little camp in this movie, if at all. There's humor, but it's not campy in the slightest. It does the 60s thing, but like your 2004, your old school, your Fox Fantastic Four where Reed Richards is dancing and he's got his arms flailing around, and you got like them switching places, like Johnny Storm and the Thing, and like there's no camp. It's way more serious than a lot of the Phase 4 and 5 movies. Like, definitely. It's still they try to do some humor. A lot this movie felt like we're playing it safe. That was the theme.
Yes. And it was more of, instead of an action-packed superhero film, it was more of a more detective work, I get. Not even not detective, but like problem solving. It was like, how do we fix this problem? How do we fix this? How do we fix that? You know, so like there was more of that in there than there was like overall action, which I guess that played into Reed Richards as a character, and the rest of them, they were all, you know, scientists and space travelers and all that stuff too. So
Right, and an example of that done well,
yeah,
even though I have my problems with the movie, is Independence Day. How they figure out how to beat him. They don't like belabor the point like they did in this movie. It took forever to get to what the solution was. In Independence Day, they still had action. They still had dramatic moments. Here is just like it's literally we're in the room with the chalkboard and we're there the entire time.
yeah,
It seems like that's what it feels like, anyways.
yeah. That's right. The chalkboard plays a heavy role. It's in like 90% of the scenes.
Which don't get me wrong,
This is
is
a good
cool.
question right here. Does it explain why they ended up in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene? Not at all.
Nope.
But it does, I guess you could say, it does show you that they have the power to teleport to different worlds. So, I mean, if all I know, that could be Doctor Doom in there, you know, in that ship. Like maybe he hijacks them and maybe he grabs the kid and he's like, I need you to take me to Earth 009, you know, or wherever, and go from there. So that's pretty much like, if anything, that teleportation transporter thing that he created probably will be used for that. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
The opening sequence when they showed them all like saving a bunch of people, I thought was kind of neat. You know, the thing is like saving that cruise ship or whatever it was. That was kind of cool. Johnny Storm like putting out a bunch of fires by absorbing the fire.
That was cool. I like that.
That was done very well. You know, but yeah, overall 60 out of 100.
Yeah, and this is very there's a lot of scenes in the movie that are worthy of pulling it up on YouTube, like I'm guilty of doing. Like there's certain scenes, Cap in the elevator, I'll watch on a loop, you know, like but there are some scenes on here that are like they're pretty fun. Are they as good as where I'd watch it all the time? No, but it's like I said, there you could feel the promise in here and you could feel the you could feel the fatigue. You really could. All I could think of is there's two things I was thinking throughout the entire movie. Man, if they would have just done some okay Marvel movies, this would have went off with a bang. People would love this movie. And two, there's a lot of scenes with Pedro Pascal holding a baby, and I'm like, ugh, I hope that's CGI the entire time. I was like, it's creepy because it's Pedro.
My favorite character is Galactus. I
100%.
think they hit him perfect. And I will say this. I thought that the theater charging $80 for Galactus popcorn bucket helmet was crazy, but they freaking almost I believe they sold out at my theater and everybody had them. Like they when I went to go get my popcorn, they were off display and I saw a lot, like people had them. So they definitely went out buying. I'm like, dang man, $80. This one guy, like they're all, and like the way they give it to it is like they wrapped it all up in bubble wrap and put it in a bag. I'm like, you're not even using this for popcorn, you know? It's an $80 popcorn bucket. Pretty crazy. Let's see. The critical score for Fantastic Four is sitting around 64.
Yeah.
So that's about, you know, that's pretty much where I had it. 60. We have 75. Galactus is perfect.
Yes.
Definitely a step in the right direction. I tend to agree with that. 65. If you don't have a Criticless account and you're new here, I see a lot of new people in the chat. Make a Criticless account. It's free. We love to show off your scores. We love to talk about that. We do a show on Drunk 3PO about it's all about critic lists and how we could take back from the review systems like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that. And that's what we're doing. They're going to be having video games on here soon enough and everything. And it is an awesome way to promote your YouTube channel and your socials by having an account and just start putting stuff out there. Dreaming Tabitha gave it a 60. We got an 85. This is exactly what Marvel needs right now, as the MCU is not doing so fantastic. Mo gave it a 60 as well. We got a 59. 51 from Disney Man. Man, a lot of people went and saw it today. Look at that. 87. A 90. Look at that.
Hey.
Respect. A 50. A 70. So there's the critically score, an 80. I didn't thumb up anybody. Sorry, guys. As much as I wanted to hate this movie, I ended up walking away having very much enjoyed it. This is a better film than Superman, and certainly better than almost anything the MCU have been serving over the past 5 years. Spider-Man and Guardians being notable exceptions. I kind of agree with that take. So 79.
My favorite part of the movie, it didn't try to connect to anything at all. It just was its own movie.
Yes, that's why I was saying, like, if they had closed Endgame, no more Avengers, we're going to start the new phase with Fantastic Four and run that for 10 years. I think this was a perfect first film. Simply because, like you said, there was no cameos, there was none of that. It was like you said, it was a standalone. Okay, let's see where this is going. You know, Master Rue 45. Odin gave it a 55. 39. So you can see the scores here. They're pretty much up and down. You know, up and down.
Yeah.
But 60, 65 seems to be the average. From what I'm
Firmly
seeing.
in the popcorn zone.
Yeah, rad. That's right. Right there.
64, you get your money's worth. I didn't feel like I got, well, I went to a matinee, so it was a little cheaper, but
yeah,
if I paid full price, I would have felt like I got my money's worth. There's certain movies you're like, I want my money back. I didn't even like it. Yeah. Absolutely, Naganal. It is addicting. It's really fun the way it's set up. It is, you feel like you're going to be heard and you have fun stating your opinion. It's super fun.
And for those that do watch the Monday Hangover, I believe we're going to throw an audible and watch a Hulk Hogan film. We'll post it in there tomorrow. Which one? I was waiting for this guy. I was waiting after we hyped up his website and got all these new signups. Look at that. There he is. The owner, the CEO, the billionaire. Right there is Blaine.
Right. As I say, hey, and guess what? I didn't come alone this time. I brought Finger Blast and Matt, who I've referenced.
That's just awkward. We are coming together.
And I also brought the sexually ambiguous Chris.
Hey, check him out.
So yeah, we all made it. But yeah, we were trying to hurry up and get back from the movie so that we could chat with you guys for a few minutes. I saw y'all were kind of on the tail end of talking about it. So
no, it's all good. We want to promote where they're gonna, because you guys are live now, or are you going live?
We'll go live. We're going live at 9. I wasn't sure how long y'all would be on, and so we're going live at 9 on our channel, and we are literally like 4 subs away from 800. So
nice. Look at that.
Yeah.
Mods, if you can find, there it is. Can you find their YouTube channel? Nagranal did it. I'm gonna pin that right there. So if you haven't followed or subscribed, you can check Blaine out and the whole crew over there. Just for the other guys that are with you, Blaine doesn't really speak highly of you guys, just so you know, when he's on our show.
I was going to say, why do you think I skipped my trip a few weeks ago? I was like,
I know. I was like, man, I was so pumped. I was like, we're going to do this. Mo's going to be in the house.
All right.
And then it was like, oh, no, Mo's canceled. We actually all canceled on Blaine. So it was one of those things where it was like, well, Blaine's doing it. So,
yeah.
That would have been the perfect time. None of us were
well,
there.
when your co-host is sexually ambiguous and finger blast, I was like, let this breathe a little bit.
The power of these fingers, you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. Well, it's why we call that show Unhinged. You know, that's why.
Well, it's nice to meet you guys. First time I'm meeting you guys, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's good meeting you.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry that you're Blaine's friend. So it's like,
We are too.
yeah.
It's been a curse that's followed us a while.
But what did you guys think? We told the whole, like, we spoiled everything. So you guys feel free to like say whatever you want about the film. It's all
I'll
good.
let these guys talk because I'm always on screen. Actually, we should let Chris do it first because the only time Chris has ever been on the YouTubes is on our channel. So he's
True.
y'all are breaking the seal here for him. But yeah, so Chris, another thing I guess I will say first of all is that we don't talk about the movie when we get out of the movie. It's been a thing we've done for years, and we save it for the stream. So we still don't even know what each other currently think. And it's kind of.
Well, I'll tell you what. I gave it a 60. Me and Mo both gave it a 60. We both liked it better than Superman and Jurassic. We went over the things that we loved. We went over the things that we didn't like. So,
all right, let's hear what the Fisher Stevens impersonator has to say.
Is that me?
Chris,
Who's Fisher Stevens?
listen, it's probably a joke from like 100 years ago. Mo's at least 100 years old.
Okay.
one way from 800. Who will be the 800th person? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. That's exciting.
No, you're good.
Get them to 800 people. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, Chris, you got the floor.
Okay.
What'd you think?
Yeah, sorry, I have to like.
Yeah, Chris
I'm an
doesn't have a screen either. He
old-timey
can't see you
person
guys.
holding my ear. Also, yeah, I can't see. My headset's jacked up, and Blaine gave me the broken mic. But I thought it was decent. I think a 60 is pretty close to probably where I'm going to fall as well. It didn't blow me away. Didn't really do anything super new and innovative. I did really like the setting, like with it being the whole 50s era. I really enjoyed that. I felt like the dialogue acting was really flat for me. Didn't care for it too much, but I think overall, I'll just say I'm close to around a 60. I haven't thought about it too much, but a 60 is a pretty good answer.
So like just dodging a critical is decent in the rad territory.
I probably put it in a decent.
So
it'd probably
you're
go
gonna
down
go
a
one
little.
lower, put it at like a 59.
Yeah. Do any of you guys have like Pedro Pascal fatigue?
Fuck
Yeah.
yes.
Because I was just letting the chat know that not only you're going to see him all year, but next year too, because he's going to be in The Mandalorian and Grogu. And he's also the lead in Avengers Doomsday. So you got 3 more years of Pedro Pascal all up in your face. So I hope you guys are ready.
But at least in The Mandalorian, he doesn't take his mask off very much.
Right.
At least. And I hope he sticks to that because it's the way.
But you get the press tour. So, you know.
I don't pay attention to any of that. Thankfully. And I literally paid no attention to people because that's how you get burnt out on their politics. You pay attention to them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's Blaine's job.
Hey, yeah. Congrats on 800, boys. Gotta love it, man.
You are the best. Heck yeah. Thank you.
That's more than what I have here. What's up with that?
We are at 440, actually. We're getting real close.
Hey, listen, I hustled doing news for a year to get us to there, and it sucked. Daily news is not fun.
It was like a video gave us one person or
Right.
2 people, and you'd be like,
It's like-
"Oh, we're getting 2 new people.
Yeah.
We'll just keep doing videos."
Right.
Until you get to 100,000 people, man, you're gonna love it. Get a
Right,
nice little
exactly.
plaque.
Yeah, Jay knows all about it. Yeah, so Matt, what did you think?
Wow, way to rub that one in.
You're right.
I liked it. I do think it's a rad, and I do think it's better than my first viewing of Superman. Now, I've heard multiple times upon a second viewing of Superman, it's a better movie. I don't think this is one of those movies I would want to see too many more times. Like, it's not like the original Marvel movies, which, you know, you go and you see them, you're like, oh, this is so cool, I'll see them over and over again. This one, for me, was too much of a drama. And you like Blaine's laughing because like I don't like dramas. There's just too much nothing happening.
Yeah, which I was listening to
Same
them,
thing,
and Jay
bro.
said the same thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shit ton of exposition. Like a lot.
They just kept talking and talking and talking. I'm like, do something. This is a superhero movie.
Right.
Do something.
I'll say the chalkboard had more screen time than Vanessa Kirby, I think, in that movie.
Right. And he just kept erasing the same spot, being like, here we go. Here we go. It's clean. It's nice. Very nice spot.
Yeah. That's about where I figured both of these guys would be. And honestly, I'm not far off. This will be a rad for me too. It didn't absolutely blow me away. There were some things about this that I think are phenomenal. The problem is that there's some other stuff that does drag it down. There is a lot of dialogue. There are moments that drag a bit. I do have some beefs. Like, for example, Johnny did not quite land for me. Like,
really?
He was fine.
Honestly, he was my favorite of the 4.
Really?
I like Sue.
Yeah.
She was probably my favorite.
Sue. I thought Sue was really solid. Yeah, I for whatever reason, I think it's just I just watched the original, like like Chris Evans Fantastic Four, and he's just like this hot dog and hot shot, freaking just kissing
We love
ladies
it.
when he's walking. Yeah, and he's just like, this was not that. Now, I don't think that it was like the big deal that they made it about in the press, but like as far as we're gonna take away him being this like super macho whatever, it wasn't that big of a deal. But also, it just wasn't quite what I wanted from Johnny. But otherwise, honestly, I'll say, and you were asking about Pedro, he did totally fine in this. He didn't really bother me. I stopped seeing Pedro by a certain point, which I was happy about. I don't know if either of these guys were that way, but
I don't have big beef with Pedro.
right.
I haven't been inundated, I guess, with all of his stuff like you guys have, but yeah, he was fine.
Yeah.
Again, I think the dialogue being flat in my mind was, and especially without taking up so much of the story, was my biggest angst.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't stand Pedro. I'm tired of him. I'm so tired of him. Been
Yeah,
covering him for way too many times now, and it's like the guy is in like this past year. I think he was in everything, right?
Yeah.
Like
He has
every
3
movie, The
movies
Last
in
of
theaters
Us,
right now,
yeah,
Oh, really?
like
Yeah.
currently.
Wow.
So
and on like HBO shows and everything else. So it's just kind of like, yeesh.
Right. It's too much. But I will say I was afraid that he was going to be my biggest hurdle. Also, the stuff with Shia LaBeouf, didn't mind it. I mean, like it was a gender swap, but I didn't care. Like it was. I don't know where y'all sat with it, but I was like,
The reason why they gender swapped is because they wanted to have a romance between Johnny and Silver
Right.
Surfer, which, if you're a comic book person like me, you hate that. So it's like,
Yeah, the whole thing where she's like, I herald the beginning, I herald the end. Like that would have, as I said earlier in this episode, it would have held a lot more ground if it was like Lawrence Fishburne or James Earl Jones or somebody with a deep voice. She's like, I herald your beginning, and you're even in the theater. It just was shrill. It wasn't they tried to make it deep and it just didn't work. It would have been
like
all you could think of. It could have been so much better. That's my whole thing. It wasn't bad, but it could have been way, way better.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Do you think that an accent would have been better? Like Australian accent?
Right. Australian, maybe British.
Yeah.
They're typically evil,
sure.
as far as accents go.
right,
Australian. Right? Sorry.
I got to ask you guys the most important question. I don't know if you guys can see the screen, but I'm going to show this. All right. This review came in, and I want to know if you guys had the same reaction. This guy says Fantastic Four is a masterpiece. The visual effects and the score are a huge standout. I love the score. Galactus is huge on IMAX. It's emotional and gives you hope. It beats you off and doesn't stop. Stay until the end credits. So did you guys feel the same?
I missed the beat off.
Yeah. As for someone who regularly talks about getting beat off, I'm sure Chris can speak on this.
Oh, I guess we missed that part of the extra credit stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm
that must have been a
disappointed.
special kind of theater.
Right.
That's like the 40X
that's-
experience.
There you go.
That's what it is.
40X adds a stretchy arm to the chair. It's
Should have renamed the Horny Jack.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's no.
They're avoiding the question, Chad. That's okay. I'm gonna go on and say it didn't do that for me, and I was a little
No.
disappointed. But still, that's
I was a bit
No,
chafed
yeah.
halfway through.
I mean, if it
was
happened to Matt, if it happened to Matt, it's because he was sitting beside Chris. Is all I gotta say. So
Would have made it a better experience.
where do I see that?
I'll
first?
answer their question though. Like that did not based on our ratings. I mean,
right.
we're all
quite
like
do that.
60%. It's not
Right. Yeah,
not that great.
But I will say also to agree with that review though, the score in this movie is so freaking good.
Yes, yeah, that was a huge
Like-
highlight for me. I love the score.
And it
So-
continually through the whole film. There's some stuff in the space scenes where they even the score goes totally different places than the rest of the film. Like it's a superb score for this movie. As far as just listening
And
to
you're gonna have a hard time beating Michael Giacchino. I don't speak Italian, sorry. But he does great. Even in movies, you're like whatever, like the reboot of Star Trek, they have just really good score.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
He never misses. He always comes with his A game, and yeah, it was really good. Matched the visuals perfectly. I agree with that.
Yeah, and with the visuals, I mean, this is it looks really impressive. Like you can tell it's the guy that did WandaVision. It's a lot of that vibe of the retro stuff. He pulled a lot of that he learned from that show into this. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Bad baby CGI. That's all I'm gonna say. But I mean, it's
Oh,
real
yeah.
hard to do baby CGI. I'm assuming because nobody's done it right. I feel like just use like a puppet, man. That's all. That's all you got to do.
Would you give
I
Pedro
wanna see a
Pascal a
Muppet.
baby? I'm just saying.
Hmm.
I think it was more
mean,
necessary for insurance.
I'm sorry. Let me
Yeah.
clarify the question. You want me to? You want to ask me if I'm willing to impregnate Pedro Pascal? Is
Yeah, that would that's the more questions.
that the question?
Do you want him to beat you off so you can enjoy the movie? Or
As
I
long as
also
babies
have
are
another huge question for you guys. Everybody wants to know. Again, I don't know if you can see the screen, but I'm going to share it. Did you guys spend the $80 and get the Galactus popcorn bucket?
It is
moly.
sick. Chris can't see it, but I can
It's
guarantee you,
huge.
like it is pretty awesome. Chris
it
really likes
$80 worth?
Galactus a lot.
Idea. Yeah, they didn't really do him justice in this. Also, I know I'm jumping all over the place. Weird to kind of jump straight into Galactus in the first showing of this. Like, maybe
Right.
start a little lower, but yeah.
Right.
No, I mean,
They
$80
start big
that's
scale.
excessive.
We did not spend the money on the bucket, but I don't know if our theater even had that.
No, I didn't see it.
So we were at the because I looked when we walked in and I
Right.
saw they had the cups, but that's a baller.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So my theater sold out of those,
Oh,
and everyone sit. For me, like for me to have a great time at a movie, also like crowd participation is huge. And since I live right next to like Universal Studios, the theme park, I go to that movie theater and people are always dressing up. So there was people dressed up as the Fantastic Four characters. We had people trying to dress up as the Thing, just like in the color code. And the popcorn bucket was huge. Everybody had one of these in their hands. And when I went to go get popcorn, they were like, what they usually do is have them like on these shelves and you can point them out, but they were all gone by the time I got up. But a lot of people in our theater had them and they were excited. With that being said, the jokes didn't land with my theater, even though it was packed. So
Yeah, kind of the same.
Yeah.
Granted,
Okay.
this joke isn't, or this movie is not like a hearty horror like like Marvel has been of late. I like the serious tone of this film. Like it's about
Same.
time that we got one from Marvel.
But the problem was, is, to their point, like they were trying to do
Some.
these like little moments where they're supposed to be funny. And I agree. Like most of them did not land for me.
Mhm.
There was a couple times later in the movie where I was like, ha, that was kind of funny. Or it would catch me off guard.
Mhm.
But and you guys weren't laughing either.
Oh, right.
So
no,
don't
no, no.
laugh about me not laughing because I don't like comedy.
yeah.
Well, we joke because Matt doesn't think anything is funny ever. It could be like the funniest film ever, and Matt's like, wasn't funny.
He just
But
doesn't know
nothing
how
humorous
humor
about this
works.
whatsoever.
It's okay. It's fine. It's
Now,
a skill you gotta learn.
my theater erupted. I don't know about like, this is not part of Fantastic Four. My theater erupted when they showed the Naked Gun teaser trailer. I don't know if you had that in your theater. They showed the naked. They showed the PSA Naked Gun. It was the funniest thing ever. Liam, I don't know if you guys seen it. Liam
Not
Neeson's
seen it.
like,
No.
there's no comedy films anymore, and you got to buy a ticket to this movie to save comedy. And he like rips a fart like in the middle of being serious. It's so freaking funny. Theater just
Nice.
laughed and went crazy. We also got the Avatar teaser trailer
We did.
that a lot
Yeah.
of people
Yeah,
were
that
wanting
one,
to
yeah.
see. So
That was way longer than I was expecting. I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was this year. Like that was a lot of trailer.
I liked
So,
it. I'm an avatard. That's what people
Yeah.
call me. Like, so
Well, did you see the news this week that the video game they made it third person? So now you can play the
Yeah.
video game third person. Are you going to play it?
I have it. I just gotta
Yeah, me
like, I
too.
guess re-upload it. So
Same.
and go. I like the game for what it's worth. So
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't either. I just didn't finish it. I didn't get super far. Like because I was kind of just like I want this to be third person.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
It might be worth going back to now. The trailer looked decent though. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like they're pretty far along in the film. Also, did y'all get the really weird trailer for Zootopia 2?
No.
Real weird. No speaking at all. Like I'm just like, do they not have like the BS?
No, they are. There's actually a real trailer
Oh, really?
because I've only seen the real trailer, and then that weird one was playing.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be just like a silent comedy skit. I
I
think is what it was
guess.
supposed to be.
Except for there was just bad house music playing the
Yeah.
entire time for some reason.
Yeah.
But whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was strange. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like when I think about Superman, because the first time Matt and I saw it, we weren't super crazy about Superman. I've heard people say that it's better. Heard people say it's worse. Personally, I'm like, this might edge out Superman by a hair for me, just due to some things like the score and stuff. But on that second viewing of Superman, for me, I did like it a lot more, and had a lot more fun.
But you also are one of the few people that really enjoyed the Thunderbolts too. So
Yes.
how does this rank with other MCU projects this year? Would this be the best MCU or superhero film of 2025? Thunderbolts came out this year, right?
Yeah,
along with Captain America and now this. So where would you rank that?
I think that Thunderbolts is better for me personally. Still, I liked it a lot more than some people did, but a lot of people were over the moon about that movie. But then there were other people. It was very similar to kind of Superman, where like it was kind of this split of people like really hating it. I really liked Thunderbolts pretty well. I did not like this as much, but there are things that I like about this movie more than some. It's kind of this weird thing because like the space stuff in this movie was awesome. Like it was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was like Interstellar-esque. Yeah, like wow, this is really cool space stuff.
Also, Mo, you don't have a chain. Me and Blaine are like we're part of the chain gang here.
Yeah, you got
what are you doing, man? I gotta go to like Jackson and get you a Jackson chain that you. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Oh, that's why I wasn't wearing it. He didn't want to show you guys up.
Yeah, you just one-upped us.
That's right. Don't at me, bro. And that's the best part about Criticless. You can go to @Blaine and look at all of his shit reviews and say, wow, I really don't care about this guy's opinion. But that's the best part about it. You can look at my opinion of Transformers the movie and be like, he's full of it. And I'm like, no. You weren't there.
Right. I mean, it could always be worse. We could be Jonas. Like,
oh yeah.
It
That's
could be
true.
worse.
That's true. Can I ask your friends a question? When going to the movies with Blaine, is he one of those like talkers? He looks like a talker in the film. Like, if he sees something, does he like give you the elbow and be like, hey, "What did you think about? Was that funny?"
I guess
you know those talkers.
Actually, you have done that, but you don't do it that much, especially when we're reviewing.
I knew it. He just looks like the type.
It's only in those moments of like if it's like a superhero movie or something where there's like some hidden lore or something. I'm just like but no. Well, Matt's wife is a notorious movie talker, so
that's it.
I had one in my theater when the baby was saving Sue Storm. He went, he's gonna save her, and I'm like, oh. That's the only thing I don't miss about living in the Carolinas. I'm like, gosh darn it. So
it's all right. We had like a 5-year-old in our theater, about like 2 rows back, that didn't care about the movie, obviously, because you don't take a 5-year-old to this movie.
Full conversations.
Yeah, and the little 5-year-old just talking away. I'm like, yeah, because it's a 5-year-old in a movie theater. That isn't a kid's movie.
Right.
And I saw that because they came in like right when the movie started and they walked past us like, oh great, a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Whew.
And right behind.
And I've got a 3.5-year-old, so I understand, but I take my 3.5-year-old to kids movies.
Right.
Not
these.
Guess
These
what?
kind of
And it's a worldwide thing. I went to go see Batman Begins in Mexico, and all I heard for the entire movie was "Quién es Batman? ¿Quién es Batman?" The entire movie. So it's like you can't escape it. You can go to Antarctica. I guess somebody's gonna be talking in the theater. So
the lack of respect. No, I am actually. I get a lot of crap for being very stringent in films when it comes to talking.
Speaking of movie talkers, is your wife?
Yeah, my wife. Yeah, well, she's the one
that's
in
like chat, but like,
no, my wife is like,
don't watch a horror movie with her because she will talk through all the best parts because she doesn't prefer that.
When you come back to Orlando, man, we got to go to like some of these fun theaters that we have here, where you guys sound like you guys go to like the most hick rip seat type
I know actually
theater. We like sit in these big recliners with massage, they bring milkshakes to us and all that stuff. It's like
hell yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
No, well, our theater is actually quite nice. Now Mo might go to like Hicktown Theater. I don't know. Like
I don't really have a choice.
He lives in South Carolina, so
right?
It can't be helped.
They're like our ugly step sibling.
Really? Concord's gonna talk shit about me. All right, really? A city that was under control of one man just because he wanted to build a racetrack. All right.
It's true. It's true.
It's capitalism.
That's right.
Glory.
That's right. We believe in capitalism around here, as Chris said. So, no, it's actually our theater is pretty nice because we're right next to Concord Mills Mall, which is like one of those. It's like the same people that make Mall of America and stuff. So it's like a baller, really big, like really nice AMC. So we saw it in Dolby with reclining seats and the whole thing.
And we only get shootings there once a month, so pretty good.
You guys don't even have cool popcorn buckets, man. You come to Universal, dude. When like Jurassic World was playing, Universal Studios went all out with like big pieces of the movie, like giant dinosaurs in front of the theater that you can get pictures of. They had like actors out, like, you know, people playing the actors. They go all out. It's a lot of fun to take like your friends and family. We always go there. They do it up so big. And then, of course, if a Disney film, you go to Disney Springs and they have like this massive red carpet for all their themed movies where they have like fake photographer. Like it's just it's like a whole experience, right? You walk through and they have the red carpet, then they have the big photo, you know, like where all the celebrities would stand and get their picture taken. And you could win prizes and all that. It's the whole thing.
I think really what this is a shining endorsement that if you are to find a theater that will beat you off, it's Jay's Theater. I mean, really, that's what I'm picking up.
Yeah.
I mean, and the milkshakes are good, man. The milkshakes
and I love
good,
how real quick. I'm really mad about getting shade thrown at me. All right, you act like Concord Mills is like the one from 20 years ago. You know, where you can go out and go to.
I don't even know what
FYE
they're talking about, Chad, but here we are.
Yeah, okay. We're going
FYE still there.
level. All right, you know, you can go watch a great movie at AMC and go walk down and get some vapes and some questionable sports memorabilia. All right, this is like it's slowly turning into that mall, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is. Yeah, don't go too late at night and don't send your wife alone. That's
Oh yeah, don't send women there alone.
Wife. Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome. Well, we're gonna end it here, and if you guys want to go check out Criticalist Cast, that's how you call it, Criticalist Cast.
Yeah.
And we got to change that name. But if you want to go see them, it's in the pinned comment, and go check them out. I'm glad we got to do this again, but like for a full thing. So,
yeah.
And what we got to do is like you got to get them all StreamYard links so they could be on the screen the whole time. I don't know how you can make that happen, but
it's actually not super hard to do. I don't think we could probably pump the audio in through one location and then run the cameras through different ones.
That would be a lot of fun. So there's not any people over here. You guys are getting started in about 30 minutes. Is that correct?
Yep.
Here's the link right there. Go listen to their review if you want to hear more. They are a lot of fun for what it's worth. So
thanks, buddy.
For what it's worth.
So we also don't just talk about movies.
That's
spend like the first 45 minutes like shooting the shit, talking about
culture and
what's happening in the news, and then we kind of talk about some of the things we've been watching, and then we get into our review. So it's not just us talking movie. So you won't hear us discussing the movie twice necessarily.
Right.
We're gonna make just for people that watch the Monday Hangover. We will pick a Hulk Hogan movie, and I will post it in the Monday Hangover critic list chat on tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm gonna get with Mo and a few others, but it probably will be Suburban Commando.
Yeah, I think that or the nanny one that he did.
Yeah, I want to he's been in a lot of movies, but I want one where he's the star. So like we'll do one like where he's the star of the film, and we can go over some of the fun cameos that Hulk Hogan had in like Gremlins, Rocky 3, things like that. So
if it wasn't a whole television series, I would recommend that we do Thunder in Paradise, which is one of my childhood favorites.
Yeah.
So,
but No Holds Barred could be it as well. Yeah. So we'll see. But Suburban Commando, I think, was the last feature film that he did where he was the star. Where he was the star, not just a cameo. So we might. I've never seen Suburban Commando. Most that says it's
neither.
Dude, I've seen it multiple times. I was like 11 when it came out. It was it's Michael Ironside, Christopher Lloyd, and Hulk Hogan. That's all you need to know.
I mean, that sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And make sure you sign up to Criticalist, and we'll show you review. And at least I will give you a thumbs up. I don't know about the owner, but we'll see. You got to earn that. You got thumbs up. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Mo. I hope you guys had fun. Thanks for watching this live stream, and we'll see you Monday, or maybe we'll see you this weekend and we'll do Happy Gilmore. I don't know. We'll see.